After Harold came out, he saw Charlie and Claire. He ran forward quickly, looked down at Claire with dim eyes, and blurted out, "Claire, hurry up and chase Miss Doris. Let her not terminate cooperation with us." Claire looked blank. Terminate cooperation? Why? Harold said angrily, "You are here pretending to be innocent. You must have instructed Miss Doris to embarrass me publicly. If you don't settle this matter for me, I can't spare you." Snapped. The old Mrs. Wilson, who was on the side, slapped Harold angrily again and said, "You be it starred, how can you talk to your sister like that? She is the director of our Wilson group." Harold was anxious. "Didn't Grandma chose me as the director?" The old Mrs. Wilson said angrily, "If you hadn't given me ecstasy, how could I change my mind temporarily? If you continue to be reluctant, get out of the Wilson family." After being smoked twice by the Lady Wilson, Harold was extremely angry, but he dared not speak, so he could only swallow his anger temporarily. The old Mrs. Wilson said to Claire again at this time, "Claire, Grandma begs you, you are now the director of the Wilson family. Hurry up and explain to Miss Doris. Otherwise, our Wilson family will be in ruins." Claire looked at Charlie blankly with doubts. Charlie shrugged and said, "I told you, they have to come and beg you to be the director in a while. You didn't believe me. Look, your face is all messed up." Claire blushed, wiped her tears, and said, "Then I will try to contact M. Grand." After speaking, she dialed Doris Young's phone. Everyone's eyes focused on her. After a while, the phone was connected, and Claire said, "Hello, Miss Doris. Grandma asked me to explain to you, I will be promoted to the director of the Wilson family, responsible for the cooperation with M. Grand. Can you give us another chance?" Doris Young chuckled and said, "If you are the director and can take the charge, then there is no problem. The cooperation can continue, but if it is someone else, everything stays at the current status." "Miss Doris, thank you so much." Claire was always puzzled about this matter in her heart. From beginning to end, the M. Grand group seemed to be here entirely to help her, which was too abnormal. Doris Young said with a smile, "This is what our chairman meant. If there is a chance in the future, the chairman will explain it to you personally." Claire was even more puzzled. Who was the chairman of the other party, and she had never seen him? Why did the other party help him everywhere? Then, "Can you please return to the banquet hall again?" Claire asked nervously. The other party had left with anger, obviously irritated by the Wilson family. At this time, asking the other party to come back is a bit difficult. But she didn't expect that Doris Young agreed resolutely. Soon everyone saw that Doris Young's car had returned to the door of the hotel. At this moment, everyone looked at Claire's gaze, all filled with horror and awe. When everyone returned to the banquet hall, the Lady Wilson took Claire's hand on the stage. With an intimate gesture, she said, "I'm really sorry for just now. It was me who made a mistake. In fact, thanks to Claire this time, she is the outstanding descendant of our Wilson family." This time the cooperation between the Wilson family and the M. Grand resulted from the efforts of Claire. She really made great efforts. Doris Young stood by her side, glanced at her disdainfully, waved her hand to stop her from speaking further, and said, "I will correct it. In this cooperation, Miss Claire has not only made great efforts, but completely it is made possible by her power, and has nothing to do with other people. This is extremely rude, but everyone is accustomed to it. With the status of an emperor, even if Doris Young slaps the Lady Wilson in public, she dare not say anything." The old Mrs. Wilson nodded quickly and said, "Vice Chair Doris is right. For everything, the credit goes to Claire. From now on, Claire will be the director of the Wilson family's business, fully responsible for the cooperation between the Wilson family and the M. Grand group." Doris Young showed a slight smile and shook hands with Claire and said, "I hope we can cooperate happily in the future." Claire was still a little at loss, and could only nod her confused head. The audience burst into thunderous applause, and everyone looked at Claire's eyes, also full of enthusiasm. This woman, who is on the list? The M. Grand group treats her so seriously. Claire herself was also confused. She turned her head to look at Charlie. The situation at this time was exactly the same as what Charlie had just said. Old Mrs. Wilson returned the position of director that should belong to her. Until the banquet was over, Claire was still in a daze after returning home. Recalling what Charlie had said before, she couldn't help but feel a little puzzled. In the past few days, Charlie seemed to have become a little different. There seemed to be many things on his body that she didn't understand, like it was covered by layers of mist. This night, Claire became famous in Oris Hill. Everyone knows that there is an outstanding junior from the Wilson family, and the M. Grand Group is on her back. It seems that with her, the revitalization of the Wilson family is just around the corner.